So, I woke up yesterday and CNBC was reporting that FedEx sued the US government.
The shipping giant suing the Commerce Department over Huawei restrictions that it says are hurting.
Sounds kind of weird, but whatever. Later on, I realized that FedEx actually had earnings announcements that same day. That whole thing sounded super suspicious to me, as if they needed some sort of PR drama before earnings. I took a look at the FedEx chart and it's already trading at its 52-week lows. It's down almost $100, probably about 35% or so. Based on technicals alone, it's not the best shorting opportunity. I thought I would look at just some options contracts because the last thing I wanted was a situation where even on disappointing earnings, the stock would rally. Options is a great way to avoid holding a short position into a rally. But after looking at the options prices themselves, they looked way too expensive. I did not feel like any of them were priced in a manner where I could make money off of them. So instead of doing options or doing a very massive short trade or anything like that, I essentially took a small position into earnings, shorting 30 shares of FedEx. Now the hard part, waiting for the earnings call and market reaction.
I just want all of the money. Do you know what I said? I gotta get the dinero, the cash, and the bread. Money. Do you know what I'm saying?
While we wait for FedEx earnings, let's go ahead and talk about my day trade, which was Micron. So I already had some exposure to Micron and earnings were coming up, of course, and Micron's one of my favorite names. I will always have this in my books, but obviously do your own research. Now, Micron, I had 500 shares and I had a covered call on all 500 of those shares. Now, here's a helpful tip for those of you who are new to trading or want to get into trading. Before earnings release or earnings announcements, the stock will actually fluctuate quite a bit, making it a great day trading opportunity. So I thought I would take a piece of Micron as a day trade. And I bought 700 shares of Micron as a day trade. I managed to get in around 33.57 or 58.59, something like that. For 700 shares, I went ahead and I flipped it. I think I made 17 or 18 cents worth of profit on that trade. Overall, pretty happy with that. Obviously, it's a small trade. So I'm sure you guys are sick of this name, AMD, but I must say it's one of my favorite stocks to trade, and I can read the tape on this very well. What do I mean by reading tape? It's essentially reading the ticks and essentially how the stock is trading throughout the day. So a lot of people starting in trading, I strongly recommend them to find a couple of tickers where they have a very good sense of how the stock will trade throughout the day. For me, that stock is AMD. Yesterday, I had 800 shares of AMD before the market opened. I saw it kept dripping a little bit lower, and I bought 300 shares and a second increment of 400 shares. I actually had to go to a doctor's appointment. As you guys can see, I had a little bit of a band-aid, and I wasn't really concerned of getting out of the trade with AMD. If AMD ever dips right now, it has a tendency to pull back up, and I'm not really nervous about selling the stock. So today I woke up and I saw the stock was floating quite a bit higher. It was $30 and some change, and I pretty much got rid of 300 shares that I picked up. I got rid of another 400 later on, probably within seconds of selling the 300. And then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get rid of another 300 that I had picked up earlier last week. So it was a pretty successful trade. Probably made about 1,000. I don't really know off the top of my head, but we'll run some numbers and we'll figure it out. Let's wrap up the FedEx trade. So a little bit more background about the FedEx trade, and FedEx is actually not a stock I routinely trade. Kind of why I also took a short position on FedEx. I order a lot of products from Amazon.com, and lately I have not received a single product from either FedEx or UPS. All of the products themselves are coming from Amazon Logistics. Amazon is one of the largest e-commerce websites in the world. You know what? It is the largest. I shouldn't say one of the largest. I feel like Amazon Logistics is going to be in direct competition with companies like FedEx, UPS, just due to the raw volume of products coming right from Amazon.com. For that reason alone, I don't feel like FedEx is an economic bellwether. There's more competition now with, Amazon, Uber, and I think it will stay like that for the progressive future. I think potentially more companies are going to be eating away at FedEx's market share. Now, for that reason, I took a short position, a very small one. I felt comfortable with 30 shares because, like I said, based on technicals alone, you could potentially see a bounce in FedEx stock. As it turned out, I was right about both things. The earnings were disappointing, but even though they were disappointing, the stock actually bounced back up anyway. Having said that, I had an opportunity this morning to get out with actually a slight profit. I think I made $60 or $70 or something like that. And you know what? $70 is $70. I'm pretty happy about the way it turned out. It was a small trade, but these small trades do add up over time. My last trade I kind of want to talk about was a trade you guys saw me do 2 videos ago. This was Bitcoin futures. I'm a believer of cryptocurrency, and Bitcoin is doing really well right now. I think as of right now, my account on the futures contract is up over 18,000 or so. Don't quote me on that. So anyway, guys, that's my update for June. It turns out I'm back up on everything. I made quite a bit of money on AMD. I made up all my losses on Nvidia, and if you include the covered call options, did really well. Bitcoin has really helped me out quite a bit this past month. Teva, I'm still taking quite a dump on Teva. Yeah, but other than that, pretty good. So I'm happy with everything, and let's forget about Teva for the time being. Enjoy life. Till next time, happy trading.
I just want all of the money. Just want the money, 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 money.